Okay, so I may have gotten a bit overzealous and done some power leveling. So yeah, we've got a lot higher of a team. Now, I went and just did a bunch of Pokemon dens because I just want to get through the same part of the game as quick as possible. I have not progressed any though, I literally just did nothing but the dens. Okay, so these guys are at level 45. I might be a bit over-leveled. I might just be a bit over-leveled, but that's okay because I just want to be able to get through the Elite Four as quickly as humanly possible. With that being said, I am still going to fight every single trainer I come across. So not gonna lie, it's been about a week since I last played this. It feels good to be back. Feels good to be back recording, because after I did all that grinding, I decided I needed a break. Okay, so the upload schedule is changing again, so I'm literally just... Until Pokemon Shield is done, this is just the only videos that are going up on the channel, because I had to think about it, and I was trying to find other games to play and record, but just the only one I kept coming back to was Pokemon, so... Until this game is done, I'm only playing Pokemon Shield, so no more interspersed videos throughout, because it's just getting annoying. I mentioned, like, either the last episode or a couple episodes ago or something, I don't really remember. I said a friend of mine had a copy of Legend ZA that they were going to give me, so yeah, I have been playing that in my spare time, but I'm not going to record it, because it's really not worth recording. It's perplexing. It's a very perplexing game, I will say that. It's not god-awful, like, it's not terrible, it's just not very good. Like, it's just not the best that it could be. And I think that, the problem is, it feels like either it's a DLC for another game that got turned, like, Frankensteined into its own game, or they had to sacrifice so much to get it running on the original Nintendo Switch that it just wasn't worth it. Like, I don't know, it's so perplexing. Like, I can't say that it's amazing, but I also can't say that it's terrible. Like, it's not the worst thing I've ever played, but it's just also, in terms of its quality and polish, it's lacking. It's very lacking. Like, it would have felt right at home if it was a DLC for Pokemon, like, Arceus or something. Like, it's not a full finished game, and the fact that it has, like, $30 DLC and, like, all this other crap as well is just... They didn't finish it. They need to hand Pokemon off to another developer at this point, because... I'm not gonna lie, the Pokemon look amazing. Like, the models look fantastic. I'm playing it on the Switch too. So, it looks fantastic. Like, the game really does look, like, the models of the Pokemon look fantastic. Like, your player character looks great. Like, all of the NPCs, all of the Pokemon, like, it all looks really good. The problem is, everything else looks bad. The city is bland and boring. It looks terrible. Like, everything else looks terrible. Like, it would fit... If you put that game at 480p and told me that it was a PlayStation 2 game, I would actually believe you. That's the level of, like, quality that the map and everything else is running at, that I would not actually question you if you told me that it was originally a PS2 game that was upscaled to 1080p. It's actually kind of pathetic, honestly. But I actually honestly think that they need to hand Pokemon off to another company that actually gives a fuck. Because it's very clear that the Pokemon Company, or Creature Co, or whoever made Pokemon Legends ZA, they either just do not have the time, or budget, or care for what they're working on, because it's atrocious. It's actually atrocious. And, like, the problem is, the story is kind of interesting. I kind of enjoy the story. That's why I'm still playing it. I've played it for about, like, 10 hours now. The story is kind of interesting. I actually like some of the ideas that they're trying to present. But the problem is, it's executed so poorly. Like, so between every, like, match that you do for a rank, you've got to go and grind tickets. And they only appear at night time. So what ends up happening is you go to a battle zone, you start grinding and you get tickets, and if you can't get enough tickets in the allotted time, then it means that you go find a park bench somewhere, you just rest and wait till nighttime for the next battle zone to open up in the next part of the city for that night, and then you just repeat the process of just grinding the same 3 trainers over and over and over again until you have enough tickets to go and fight the actual person who you're supposed to be fighting, and it grinds the game to a halt. Like, it just grinds the game to an absolute halt. It's so embarrassing. And then this is the other thing I actually had a problem with this. When you get to rank V, you go from, like, rank V all the way up to, like, rank F instantly. And it's really annoying. It's actually really annoying because it's like the game is already so lackluster in content, and then there goes another half of what could have been content. Like, it's like, it's kind of fun, but it's also kind of not fun at the same time. Like, it's really hard to describe it. Like, if I had to rate it, I honestly would have to give it a 5 out of 10. Like, it is perfectly mediocre. It is perfectly in the middle of a good game and a bad game. It's so perfectly in the middle that I actually think after I beat it, I'll never go back to it, and I'll never even think about it ever again. Like, the only thing that's really keeping me going in it is honestly just the Pokemon, like, look fantastic. Like, they look amazing. Like, they actually look really, really good. I really love the new models and stuff that they've done for it. It's just, being a fan of Pokemon is just really hard now, like, because all the games are either, they're so boring and crap and generic, or they're just terribly optimized, or they look terribly, they run terribly. Like, also, the new combat system, stop hyping that shit. Like, it's so boring. The new combat system literally equates to the same as just a regular Pokemon battle. Eventually you hit a point where you stop running around and trying to take advantage of the real-time combat because it's just not worth it, and you just stand still and just spam your strongest moves. And because there's no PP, there's just a cooldown timer. So what ends up happening is you just stand still and just spam moves over and over and over again. And if your Pokemon is fast enough, then your opponent just doesn't even get, like, a chance to even, like, retaliate to you, I guess would be the best way to put it. But the new combat system is getting way too glazed. It's getting way too hyped up. It's literally the exact same as it's always been. You just stand still and you spam moves, and that's it. Like, you'll run around for the first 10 battles, you'll actually, like, run around and try to engage with it. But other than that, there's no point. It's a perfectly mediocre game. Like, look at the textures on these buildings as well. Like, see these lamps hanging out, see these, like, windows, see these pillars. This is better looking and better graphics fidelity than ZA, because ZA has no art style. It has no art style. This game has an art style. Like, look at the character models in this game. Like, everything looks pretty stylized. Like, these environments, this town, it, like, definitely has a clear aesthetic that it's going for. You won't find this in ZA. Like, and it's actually pathetic how small the map is in ZA. It's actually so pathetic how tiny ZA's map is. It's actually astounding. Look up just gameplay videos of Pokemon ZA, or just any critique video of ZA, and you'll know exactly, like, what's happening. Like, this is old news. This is such old news by now. Like, I'm so late to the party and so late to the boat. Okay, as usual, we're in a new town, so we need to redo our look. I'm really kind of messing with this motorcycle jacket, honestly. That actually really fits the aesthetic I'm going for. We'll go for that. Yes, I want to put it on. Shoes. I think we can do better. I think we don't need the warm, fuzzy shoes. We're not in the snow no more. You know what? Actually, that is one huge positive I will give Pokemon ZA. Character customization is fucking insane. There are so many outfits. Like, there's so much you can customize in that game for your character. It's actually crazy, like, how much you can actually do with your guy or girl. Like, there's so many options. There's so much options. It's fucking insane. Like, it's actually crazy. Like, if you just wanted to play it as a dress-up game, I wouldn't blame ya. Because it literally, I have spent so many hours in that game just playing around and exploring all of the different, like, clothing stores just to, like, customize my girl. Like, it's crazy how much options there are. Like, it's actually insane. I kind of love it. Like, I actually will glaze that, like, aspect so hard for that game. This game has so many different outfits and so many different, like, customization options, right? This is nothing compared to ZA. ZA could just be a dress-up simulator. Like, it's like Infinity Nikki. Like, it's a Nikki game level of character customization. It's actually ridiculous how many options you have. I will give praise where praise is due. I have never had more fun customizing a character than I have in Pokemon ZA. Like, everything else is just so inexcusable. And I'm sorry I'm ranting, I'm sorry I'm getting a bit, like, ranty and heated about this, but it's just, it's true. It's just true. I can't look past just the insane amount of flaws that are in that game. I would love to love it. Like, if you're someone who, no, I'm serious, if you're someone who really, really, really likes Pokemon ZA, I would really like to, like, hear your opinions of, like, why you think it's, like, better than Arceus, or why you think it's better than this, or why you think it's better than Scarlet and Violet. I never thought that I would say that Scarlet and Violet is better than Pokemon ZA. It's just so infuriating how close they got to making something on the same level as Arceus, but they just fumbled it so fucking badly. The city is so... The biggest problem is the city is just so fucking boring! There's nothing to explore, there's nothing to do. It's such a tiny map, it looks terrible, like, there's no detail, there's no buildings that you can explore, there's nothing that you can do apart from the shit wild zones, which are boring as fuck. The terrible grinding in the fucking nighttime areas in order to, like, progress the story, like, there's just nothing to do. Like, in Legends Arceus, right, you can explore, like, so many different little, like, biome areas and just do, there's so much to do. There's so much to do. Like, I played Arceus for 260 hours. I do not even think I will get 40 out of Legends ZA. I don't even know if I'll finish the story, honestly. Like, I actually don't even know if I'll drop it before, like, I finish the story, because it's just so boring. I want to love it, I want to like it, but it's just so boring. Most of my problems just come down to the shitty design decisions they've made around the map and the wild areas and the grinding in the battle areas at night time. Like, and I'm not doing the whole, like, oh, Power World is better than Pokemon, blah, blah. No, it's not. Power World and Pokemon, the only similarities that those games have is that they're creature collectors. That's where it's kind of where it begins and ends with Power World versus Pokemon. Like, they're both creature collectors. They both have gym battles. That's about it. There's nothing more to compare them. They're completely different genres and styles of game. Like, that, I really dislike the Power World versus Pokemon debate, because Power World is not a better version of Pokemon. Power World is just another version of a creature collection game. So that's where I stand on that. Yeah, this rant has gone on for a very long time, but it's all I can do. This is just stream of consciousness. I wish I could enjoy Pokemon ZA, because I love the way that the Pokemon look. I love the character customization. The boss fights are genuinely, like, kind of fun. Like, when you get put in the big arena and you have to fight the Gigamax or Dynamax or Ultimate whatever the fuck they are, I don't know, there's too many. Mega Evolution, that's the one. Those are kind of fun, but I've only done, like, 2 of them, or 3 of them so far. Like, I haven't done a lot of them, but they're already starting to feel a bit samey. But they're kind of fun because they're just, like, a bit of actual challenge that requires a little bit of thought, like, more than just standing still and spamming moves. There's a reason why the Metacritic score for Pokemon ZA is, like, 4. Just so mediocre that it'd be impossible to give it anything above a 5, honestly. And also, like, seeing the budget for the Pokemon ZA, like, everyone's, like, complaining about how small the budget for the game was. you'd be amazed the type of game you can make on a low budget. Like, look at Schedule 1. I think the guy that made that had zero budget. Like, he was just making it in his spare time. Like, Mega Bonk, I think, was made on a very small budget. Like, granted, they're not, like, trying to go for the same, like, mechanical scope as Pokemon. But, like, I don't think that the argument of the budget was too low to make a good game is a good argument, because I think this game's budget was only about, like, $15 to $20 million as well, and look at how this turned out. Like, so that's just not a good argument. The problem is, they're dividing their attention between Switch 1 and Switch 2 too much. They need to just drop Switch 1 and just focus on Switch 2. You've got this new console that you're wanting to sell people, and you've got no killer apps on it, because anything that's coming out that's worth anything is on the original Switch, and people are just going to buy that version. Here's another... So I also mentioned with Pokemon Legends EA, my friend that let me have his copy so that I can play through it. I remember I mentioned that he told me that every dialogue option equates to yes or yes, so you can just spam dialogue the whole game and just never read anything. That is completely true. That is completely true. There is no point having any options for dialogue in that game at all, because like one of the first options the game gives you is yes or absolutely. This is the same fucking answer. Like, what's the point? Like, what is the fucking point? And I know I've ragged on, like, JRPGs for this in the past, where I hate fake dialogue boxes and fake choice in video games. But, like, ZA takes it to a whole new level, to the point that they might as well not even give you the choice to begin with, because the choice is always yes. Okay, so obviously in Pokemon ZA I'm playing as a female trainer, as I always play as a female trainer when I play these games. This is how I roll. I really enjoy the sidekick character, the main one that you get when you enter the city. I know that everyone plays as a male, and they're like all like really horny for the female sidekick. Like, I don't really care about that shit. Whatever floats your boat. I think he's a pretty good character, actually. I do enjoy a lot of his like interactions that we have together. There's this scientist lady who's basically she's like she's like serving community service for like what she did in Pokemon X and Y, because like it's kind of a direct sequel to X and Y, in a way. There's a lot of characters that show up from X and Y, but here's the problem. I recently played X and Y, and I was not excited to see, like, any of these characters, or I didn't even, like, recognize or remember half of them because they're just not memorable. And there's this weird obsession with streamers and, like, TikTokers. Like, there are just so many characters that you run into in that game that are streamers or TikTokers, or they want to be influencers. And it's like, I get it, that's like kind of like the world we live in now, but at the same time, it's like, do we really need 4 of them? Like, do we really need 4 influencers? Like, in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Iono worked because she was the only one. Whereas in ZA, there's like 4 of them, and they just get progressively more annoying. There's one character who is like super interesting to me, who I think his name is supposed to be pronounced A-Z, but I'm just gonna call him Az, because why the hell not? He is incredibly interesting. Like, he is the reason why I'm continuing the story, because I want to know what the fuck his deal is, because he seems to know, like, way more than he's letting on that he knows. Like, I don't know, like, he's actually a kind of an interesting character to me, and I really want to see where he goes in the story. I'm gonna give, like, a positive point, though. The music in that game is fucking fantastic. Like, I'm convinced that, like, if that game had a $13 million budget, $3 million of it went to paying the musicians, because they fucking nailed the soundtrack. The only problem is, there's only one song that plays the entire time you're in the city, which is the area that you'll be spending the most time in, to the point that it's like, you need to have, like, a different song for each different, like, district of the city that you're in, because they are districts. The city is districts. They are sectioned off districts in the city. And each one of them should have had its own song. Because hearing the same, like, 30-second loop for hours and hours and hours, like, just hours at a time. Holy fuck, it is, like, oh my god, I don't care how good the song is. After you hear it for that long, it's just, oh, turn it the fuck off. But holy shit, though, the songs that play when you're doing your, like, your rank-up matches, holy fuck, they nailed that shit. They fucking nailed that shit. Some of the music, oh, it's good. It's real good. Like, the story, like, is 50% interesting. Half of it's crap and stupid and dumb, and the other half is actually genuinely interesting. But the problem is, they constantly divert from the interesting story to have two, like, side plots going, and those two side plots are also part of the main plot, but they're not really part of the main plot, but you have to do them in order to progress the plot, so they're main plot, but they're side missions, if that makes any sense. It's like watching an anime, like, where you have to get through the shitty filler in order to get back to the story, but unlike an anime, you can't just skip the filler to get back to the main story. You have to do the filler in order to get back to the good part. It's so fucking frustrating. Like, I don't give a shit about these random-ass fucking characters that show up for 10 minutes to have a whinge and, like, just not contribute to the story at fucking all. They show up and then they disappear and you never hear from them again, and they have no cadence or weight or on anything that's happening, but you need to spend an hour or 2 hours solving their problem in order to get back to the part you actually want to do. It's just, oh my god. I swear we'll get back to, like, we'll get back to burping and dick jokes in the next episode after this, but now that I've finally played Pokemon ZA, I finally understand the insane amount of, like, hatred that it's getting. Like I said, to a degree, I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people are saying it is, but I do think it's still pretty bad. I wish it was better. I really do just wish it was better. Like, people, I remember, complained about this game when it came out, when Pokemon Sword and Shield first came out. There were a lot of complaints about Pokemon Sword and Shield. These at least feel like effort and time was put into them. And, like, I get it, it's a spin-off. It doesn't need to, like, reinvent the wheel. But the last Pokemon spin-off game we had was Pokemon Arceus, and that is, like, I know so many people, myself included, top 3 Pokemon game ever fucking made. For so many people. Like, Arceus was actually mind-blowing when it came out. Just how different and creative and how imaginative and just how much it had going for it. And that's why it pisses me off so much. I fucking love Pokemon. Like, I love Pokemon. Pokemon games are, like, some of my favorite fucking games of all time. Like, I hate JRPGs. I genuinely hate JRPGs. I think that there are so many that are just shit. Like, they're shit. I hate the JRPG genre. I just do not like turn-based games. Like, that's just a personal preference. I hate turn-based combat. I find it so fucking mind-numbing. But Pokemon is interesting and engaging to me because of the creatures, because of the characters, because of the world, because of the lore. Like, that is why Pokemon is interesting to me. Pokemon is my Final Fantasy. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy is one of the only other JRPGs that I actually like. Maybe, like I said, Bravely Default is another one that I actually like. But there are so many JRPGs that I don't like. I just can't get into that genre. It's just not a genre that I can really get into. But that's besides the point. The problem is, I have played every single Pokemon game, even the spin-offs, all of them, like every single one of them. I fucking love Pokemon. It's amazing. It is a brilliant fucking franchise. They know what the fuck they're doing, and they've proven time and time and time again they can do it when they try, when they actually give a shit. But the problem is, Game Freak and the Pokemon Company don't give a shit. They need to hand Pokemon off to another developer to make Pokemon games, a developer that you can A, give a bigger budget to, and B, a developer that actually gives a fuck and isn't just phoning it in. And that's another thing. Just put fucking voice acting in the goddamn games at this point. There are so many cutscenes in Pokemon ZA that are fully animated, and like they even animate like mouth movements and everything, but no fucking sounds come out. Give the fucking characters a voice. It's so embarrassing. Like I mentioned in the episode of Shield with Pierce, that this is the most embarrassing cutscene, or the most embarrassing moment in all of Pokemon is this completely fucking silent concert that's happening. But that's not the most embarrassing anymore. Pokemon Legends ZA has taken that throne because Pokemon ZA has, like in my time playing it, I've had like 2 or 3 of those cutscenes, just completely silent characters, like fully animated, looking at the camera, mouth movements happening, but no sound is coming out. It's actually fucking embarrassing. It's actually embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. You're Pokemon. You should not have budget constraints. You are fucking Pokemon. You should have infinite budget. Alright? They should have infinite budget to make a Pokemon game because it deserves it. It fucking deserves it. Pokemon deserves so much better than what we got with Legends ZA. We deserve so much better. And I get it, it probably started development on Switch 1. At that point, I feel like $13 million budget, double that budget, and make actually 2 different versions of the game. Don't just make one that has a higher frame rate and a higher resolution for the Switch 2. No, completely retool it for the Switch 2. Like, if you're gonna release a Switch 2 version of that game, you need to retool it. You need to give it a higher render distance. You need to give it a higher maximum fidelity. You need to give it higher quality models. You need to give it stuff that actually takes advantage of the hardware that it is on, instead of just porting over the Switch 1 version and unlocking the frame rate. But they need to do better. There is a reason why Switch 2 sales have grinded to a halt and it's just not selling the way it was in its first month, is because there's no reason to actually own one. Like, is it really worth spending like $700 or $800 on a Switch 2 just because you can play a game at 60 frames a second? Because they're not retooling anything. Like, any game that is released on Switch 2 and Switch 1 simultaneously, they're not retooling anything. Nothing is retooled for Switch 2. They don't give it a higher render distance, they don't give it higher fidelity, they don't do like texture upgrades or anything. No, they literally just bump up the resolution and bump up the frame rate, and that's fucking it. Alright, so I think I'm gonna leave this one here. We'll do the grand final in the next episode, and then we'll start the DLC and we'll do all that. Like I said, I just really wanted to get my thoughts for Pokemon ZA out more than anything in this episode. It's a 5 out of 10 game. It's not atrocious. Like, it's not the worst game ever made, but it's the laziest game ever made. But like I said, if that game just could be a fashion simulator, and just like Pokemon contests and stuff, like dressing up Pokemon and your character and stuff for tournaments, that would be fun. But other than that, it's not got a hell of a lot going for it. Anyway, till the next one, leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Let me know if there's any games that you'd like to see me play and or suffer through, and I'll try my best to do it. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the good shit. See you all in the next episode. Love you all. Goodbye.